Kicking this thing off. Eh. Replay crew, it's been one hell of a week. Let me tell you. Let some folks get in here and get started with the festivities. Ooh. Wrists, hands, forearms, everything's sore still, which y'all learn about here in a little bit. So I can tell the other peoples that's doing the live thing. Good afternoon, Sister Krista. How be ya? Represent the Mossy Oak Militia today. Never fails. Ooh, cool. That's okay. That was just Twin. Twin texted me. We were working on a project that he's going to put up here later. We were working on that right before I did this live, so he's giving me some data that I need for helping him with some things. Boom. Awesome. Cool. I love working on projects with folks and helping them out with things that I'm good at and I have my area expertise in. Yeah, it's always cool to be able to hook somebody up and help somebody out. Krista, I'm tired. I'm tired. It's been one hell of a week, as I'll get into here a little bit later on. The rest for the wicked, I guess. One thing after another with the storms going through and all that kind of stuff. And then daughter's birthday party was yesterday and had a house full of people. I'm tired. I feel like I could sleep for a week. And I will say that that horse trailer is coming along awesome. That is legit cool. A lot of work cutting all that wood, staining all the wood, sanding, getting it to fit. Like, that's a lot of freaking work. Truly appreciate that. Truly, that's beyond me, man. And my brother, oh, he loves doing that kind of stuff. Not me. Too tedious. But then I'm the same guy that'll take and wire things up and design circuit boards and build electronic stuff, and that's not him. That's just my way of doing it, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know about you guys, but we've been having a lot of thunderstorms lately. Um, Can't really get rainstorms and stuff like that, an occasional thunder boomer, but like for the last couple weeks, it's been nonstop. Like anytime we get a storm, it's an electrical storm. It's hardcore thunder and boomers, and a lot of issues with trees down and grid power going out and things like that. Um, yeah, I'm not really a fan of all that. Totally worth it in the end. Totally worth it. All the work. It's definitely going to pay off. Yeah, I mean, you do live in dry shitties, so it is going to be dry there. ACR, welcome, Andrew. Good to see you, brother. But yeah, it's been like weird thunderstorms. Like we don't normally get these kind of thunderstorms like back to back to back to back to back to back to back. We might like get like three of them from spring through summer. The rest of the time, it's just legit dark skies and rain. But it's just really weird. Our area's gotten hit really hard with bad thunderstorms to the point where it's killing power, killing trees, all that kind of stuff, and it's not typical. And I haven't had the time to actually sit down and try and track any of the planes that were flying over leading into said storms. Haven't even had the time to sit down and watch Monkey Works to see if he's done anything. Um, but we know they're trying to fight here in Pennsylvania to stop them from spraying whatever they're spraying in the air. Um, to no avail. It's just so if there's any type of geoengineering going on when it comes to the sky, I wouldn't doubt it. But eventually, one of these days here, I'll fire up this machine I'm talking to and do some searches because I have some tail numbers and some different registrations and things like that, X codes and stuff I can search on specific birds I found before that go around and do that kind of crap. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some searching because I got a feeling that these weren't natural. These weren't normal, natural. Yeah, Florida did ban it. Doug Mastriano here in PA, he's really pushing to have them stop it and ban it. What's crazy is if we don't have any kind of stuff like that for like a day or two, like my allergies improve, I seem to feel better. The skies are clear. We have beautiful temperate days, like typical weather for here. But like you said, Krista, after a day or two from this, after they've been up dropping their little anarchy symbols in the sky, we end up getting hit with something, or everybody gets sick, or there's something going on. So, I mean, it could be a coincidence, but how many times does it have to happen for it to be mathematically impossible to be a coincidence? You know. So I am not drinking apple juice today, at least right now, because I was busy. I didn't get to go hit the bar. So definitely crimes against humanity for real. They should be met with swift justice. But today's beverage, starting off with, is this little ditty my buddy told me about, Viking Berry Monster Juice. On the side here, we got the Norseman and his full Norse gear. And on the other side, you got the Longship, the Shield Maiden, and the Fenris Wolf, which is pretty cool. This is like a berry mixture. Well, hello, Miss Teresa. This thing is actually pretty legit. My buddy Ironside tuned me into this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to try it just because it's Viking, and it's actually really freaking good. So, here's to you. No, I don't need a booze. I drank copious amounts of beer yesterday. The berry flavor, I will say, Krista, is actually really good. It's like a raspberry kind of vibe to it. Um, as I read the side of the can, maybe there'll be context here, maybe there won't. I have yet to do it. Vikings were, man, it's all shiny and it's hard to see in the light. Vikings were valiant warriors who loved a good drink. They saved the very best of what they gathered, grew, bartered, and pillaged for their celebration feasts. Inspired by the wild Nordic berries, Scandinavian fruit comes Juice Monster Viking Berry. Nothing like you've ever tasted, Viking Berry blends real fruit juices and exotic flavors for a whole new taste experience. Loaded with our world famous Monster Energy blend to power you through your next adventure, grab your drinking horn and take a swig. Skull. So, yeah, I'm like looking at the juice here. Let's see. Apple juice, cherry juice, blackberry. I knew it was a raspberry or blackberry. I can taste the blackberry. I've been in a kick of blackberry Dr Pepper recently. Stuff is awesome. It's that Dr Pepper. My youngest loves her Dr Pepper. Like she is addicted to Dr Pepper. But the blackberry one is amazing. Highly recommend it for those of you that do partake in the sodas or the pops or whatever you call it in your area. Yeah. Either way, it's still a fizzy beverage. But no, the Viking berry is very good. Um, took a break from the Celsius this week. So if you drank soda, blackberry Dr. Pepper, even like in a mix would probably be good. Like I know with the vodka and everything, but like whipped vodka with that blackberry Dr. Pepper would probably be pretty legit. I mean, around Pittsburgh, it's pop. You know, you go over to Philly, a lot of people call it soda. I'll call it one thing one time and one thing next. I'm not hung up on it. Like, we have a bunch left over from the daughter's birthday party yesterday, so I'm going to be chug-a-lugging here and there on it. But we got like a bunch of stuff at Aldi's, so it's cola. It's not a Pepsi, it's not a Coke, it's not a pop, it's not a soda, it's a cola. Anthony, welcome, my dude. I'm not sure whether to drink it or pour it on your genitalias. I know what Johnny Depp would do. What would Johnny do? Yeah, most of the time I say soda, but I don't get hung up on it. It's what it is. It's a drink. Is it a beer or a brew? You know, is it a pint? You know, like across the pond, hey, get me a pint. So, yeah. Johnny was in the shower. Oh my word. No, I saw that Daddy'd been drinking on Friday night. I popped in there while I was at work just to say hey, um, show my support and show my love for ACR and the crew. But I was undertaking something massive, and it wasn't Johnny Depp. Um, it talked about the storms coming through, and we got hit with like the bad thunderstorms I was talking about. Down in Pittsburgh, there were thousands of people without power. Um, Duquesne Light down there had said it was going to be like 5 to 7 days before they could get power back on for a lot of people. There were no nursing homes that were affected, countless homes. So I was like, man, I wish I could do something. You know, I was lineman, but I'm not anymore. I work in supply. And so we got some stuff sent up to us from down in Pittsburgh to work on wire, to cut down big master reels of wire the linemen use for getting connections back up and doing repairs. We got a couple reels of wire sent up to us Wednesday, and it was like, okay, well, we don't know what to do with these. We're just kind of setting them here. Thursday afternoon, those two wire reels, they got a destination all right. Dummy here, I had to cut down a master reel, turn them into 500-foot spools. Had 11 of them. Okay, it doesn't seem like much, but whenever you have to completely transform a wire machine over to doing spools from doing kits, for like guide wire kits for your telephone poles that the wires come down and they hook to anchors to keep the poles from falling over, those we normally do, but like a steady thing for different co-ops around the area. But then I had to transfer the machine over to do the respooling. I had to find spools, get everything set up, blah, 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 transform the machine over, get everything, and run it. Ran that Thursday afternoon. They want him next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Okay. All right. I can get them done. I'll probably have them done by like Friday. And I was on par to have them done by Friday. Twin, welcome, brother. Long time no talk, man. I got your messages. So, no big deal. I have these done by Friday. I can get on to working on this other type of wire I've been working on for down at Pittsburgh for doing drops and stuff like that. All right. I got 77,000 feet sitting outside my shop that I have to do all that. Well, Friday, right before lunch, my boss comes back and he says, "Guys, I got some good news and I got some really bad news." All right, hit me. He says, "Well, good news is we're going to be making a lot of money through our branch. Bad news is we're going to have to work all through the weekend." I'm like, adios mio. So, like, okay, is what it is. My daughter had her birthday party yesterday, and we had a house full of people coming. I'm the guy, this dummy, is the one that had to smoke the ribs, do the chicken, smoke the mac and cheese, do all that. I was cooking like the main food between my smoker and Vaughn's smoker. I'm like, well, I can get stuff set up and like the wife or somebody's going to have to maintain it and keep it going while I'm at work. Spin a few reels, come back for the party, eat. Okay, can't stick around, got to go back to work. Well, we didn't know what we were getting because they made it sound because my warehouse manager was there. Our senior branch manager was out at the hospital with his dad. So he was incommunicado. His boss, my boss's boss's boss, third guy up the chain from me, he was out on vacation. His boss, fourth boss up the chain from me, was trying to handle the situation from another state and had no idea the scope of what was going on or what Pittsburgh actually needed. So it made it sound like we were going to be basically be working 24/7 and I'm going to be stuffed and fluffed, right? Well, then we got word of actually what we were going to be dealing with. And I'm like, rather than coming in Saturday, leaving to come to the party, go back to work, and possibly work today, I looked at my coworker and I said, dude, what do you think we just like stick it out and stay here as late as we have to tonight? He's like, I got nothing planned. I'm like, hoo-ah, here we go. Well, our driver on Friday had to leave and go up to Indiana, PA, to take an emergency delivery up to them. So we had to race around and get everything together for them to send it up there. And then it was jump on this wire and get this stuff knocked out. Well, he took the stuff up to Indiana, but while that went on, that's when we got the call about this storm stuff and the storm team stuff. He had to come back to our shop, switch trucks, grab the wire that we had loaded up on the truck for him, the stuff I'd been working on with the 500-foot reels and a bunch of coils and stuff. Then he had to take it down to Pittsburgh, drop it off on a Friday afternoon when the Pirates were having a game and Pitt was having graduation. Had to go through all that to get down there to get back because he was bringing wire back up to us because we ran out. They brought wire back up, and then when he was on his way back, he texted me. I called my coworker and said, let's roll, brother. We rolled back in. I met the driver. We offloaded everything, got everything ready to go. At about 6:15, I was back at work. I literally had enough time to clock out at 4:30, come home, take a rinse-off shower, just enough to like get my second wind, throw my clothes back on, eat half a ham sandwich and 2 mozzarella sticks, drink a glass of milk, kiss the wife, scratch Magnus, and back out the door I went. We ended up getting done with everything and out of there about 1 a.m. It was a challenge. Howdy, Robert. Welcome. The wire machine, you have a master reel on a turntable and an air brake to make it stop. The wire comes off the reel and the turntable. It goes through a counter head that has a guide on it. Then you have to put on heavy gloves and guide this wire onto a coiler that the wire fits down into the little channel, like a channel like that, and it like breaks open so you can pull the coil off. Well, that coiler, it's like a fan blade. It's literally spinning, depending on how fast I have the machine set, it's spinning at like 55 to 65 mile an hour. And I had that thing cranked. So you're trying not to lose your hand as you're trying to feed this. The grand total of me and my coworker, what we did was 162,168 feet, which is equivalent roughly about 13 and a half miles. When I was done, I finally got to sleep about 2. I was out. I was dead. Um, Woke up about 7. I was like, F this. Went back to sleep and slept till 11. And I haven't slept that long, that late in quite a long time. But then got up and started firing up the smokers and getting everything together for my daughter's birthday party yesterday. And I'd rather work that and dealt with that pain than missing her B-Day or having to go back and forth. I wasn't going to miss it. So long story short, it was a very long week. Great to see family, great to see friends yesterday. Had a house full of people here. Food was awesome. Did 2 racks of my dry rub I do, and then I did a rack of Casey Masterpiece with African smoke. Then I did what we call a sploot chicken, like a dog will sploot and their legs go out the back, and they just flat. Yeah, we splooted the chicken, cut the chicken down and splooted it out, and I put a local market here has what's called chicken dust. My buddy Joe turned me onto that stuff, and it's amazing. Best freaking chicken seasoning in the world. Hit that on the chicken, some olive oil on it, and smoked that puppy. And then we smoked some mac and cheese. Great food, great times. Got to see my brothers, got to see the family, got to make some new friends, and guys that are probably the next generation of Minutemen. Looking at possibly getting together with those guys and start doing some training with them, teaching them more about survival and about tactic and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a good time. And yeah, we had a great time. Last guest left about 11 o'clock last night. Finally got to bed about midnight or so. I'm like, I love you, babe. Mwah. And I was out. I was actually shocked. I woke up at like 7 this morning. It's like, holy crap. I was like, I know Twin's going to be going live about 8. I'll catch him as soon as I get up and about. And I got into his live. So I'm glad I made Twins live. But yeah, it was a lot of wiring. We still got, I've done myself, I did about 102,000 of that. Like I said, I have 77,000 more sitting outside my shop. Plus, I still got about 7,000 feet left there that I can do. Oh, it's going to be a fun time. And we just had one of our coworkers quit, the third guy. He just quit to go work somewhere else. Nothing like putting in a 2-week notice. It was only 3 days. And it's slow. There's nothing to do, blah, blah, blah. Really? Really, homie? Not like he would have showed up for any overtime anyway. If he works 5 minutes after or before his shift, he was always crying. It's not right. It's not fair. I can't because my wife has something planned, or I wanted to go here. I wanted to go there. We all do. But there's people without power right now, and that takes precedent over any pain, any BS, anything I got going on, because there are people that have medical equipment. There are, I said nursing home. They need power. Their generators are running full tilt 24/7 to keep them supplied with oxygen and this and that and the other. They're going to need power. We need to get done what we need to do to get them hooked back up so we can supply the linemen with what they need to be able to do the job and get it done. So my thoughts and prayers and my love is out to all the linemen, the ground crews, dispatch, everybody involved in utilities right now dealing with this kind of stuff. One thing that really, 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 really upset me in all this. Hello, neighbor. Welcome. One thing that really made that little vein pop out in my head. My eyes start twitching, and I was like red and like ready to break stuff, going full Viking berserker mode. Break out this sword right here and just go to town. Was the fact that there are, and I know this went on down in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, with the storm last year and everything being affected. This went on too. Is I didn't talk to Twin about it, but I have some other buddies down in North Carolina who were telling me about it. Guys are showing up from different aspects of things to help. They're still linemen. They still have the same credentials as everybody else, right? I mean, the guy with the CDL, whether he's from Pennsylvania or he's from Maryland or he's from West Virginia, if he's from North Carolina, if he's from Texas, if he's from New Hampshire, California, Washington, wherever, CDL is still a CDL, right? Yeah. An electrician is still an electrician. They still know code. They still know how to do the stuff. Why is it that whenever the guys that showed up to help with different things and do their job that they normally do in their own area, when they show up to help, they're refused, whether it's driving truck or being a lineman, ground crew, whatever? Why is it that those professional men, those blue collar men that do this for a living in their area, show up somewhere else to lend a hand for this stuff, and they're refused to be there and sent away because they're not part of the union? Last time I checked, those people that are without power don't give a flying crap whether their power is getting connected by a guy that's in the union or not in the union. Get the power back on. Get these people taken care of. These customers are, I seriously doubt they're going to, get any kind of break on their bills because of all that. If anything, they're going to charge them more to recoup what they may have lost. So you're going to turn away good, solid help, people coming out of the kindness of their heart to come help you to restore power, restore water, restore Sweat MC, right? But you're going to refuse them because they're not part of your union. That's what I got to say to that. Which, it's like, you got to be kidding me. My neighbor, he works storm team for his company, and I work storm team doing this stuff, and I've been on storm teams in the past for utilities. And it's like, if I do this day in, day out, this is my life. This is what I do for a living. I'm a professional. I have all the credentials, the same as that guy over there. But he's an iBlue and I'm not. It's supposed to be an international brotherhood of electrical workers, whether you're carrying a union card or not, And I just don't get it. I mean, they're the linemen that are there, that are doing the work, are like, yes, bring them in. We want help. Let's get these people taken care of. We feel like we want to die. These guys can give us some kind of relief. But the higher ups, well, we're not getting paid to have these guys. Well, we're not covering. No, the co-op that's over here that's sending their guys are paying them. You're not. Like, I'm just throwing the name out there, neither here nor there. I'm just using them as reference. Like, say, First Energy. They're not the bad guy in this situation. I'm just using them as an example. But that company, they are affected. Well, if West Penn Power sends guys to go help them, West Penn Power is paying the bill for them to be there. First Energy isn't. I've done enough of that crap in the past, dealing with billing and all that stuff, taking care of guys' time and everything else and logging their hours and stuff. I've been there and done that. The co-op that's sending the guys is paying the guys. The one that's getting the help, they're not. They're just getting guys to back them up, to help them so they can get a break, so that they might be able to get a few hours sleep. They might be able to go home and see their family. They might be able to go get a shower while these guys are carrying the load. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And it all comes down to government fuckery in the end. It truly does. Good afternoon, Homestead. Welcome, sir. Twin brings up an interesting point. Imagine the grid collapses for a couple weeks or months, as he said. What's that going to look like? You know, I mean, we do have people that need power for medical reasons, life sustaining equipment. Take away the grid. Well, the internet goes down if you don't have the grid. Phone goes down. All the meat you packed into your freezer. One thing I can recommend for that is pack as much as you can into your freezers if you lose power, to right away pack as much stuff as you can to help keep it cold. Take up any dead air in your freezers and seal that thing off. Only get in it if you absolutely have to. Robert's right. Chaos, mass hysteria. It's going to happen. Generators. I know Twin just picked up a Big Daddy generator. Awesome. We have some friends that live down in the area affected. Mando ended up taking his generator down and hooking them up because he's got like a couple of them. So he took one down, and he took one that's the quietest one down. So that way other people aren't like, oh, well, you got a generator. Try and steal the generator or try and leech power off of it, whatever the case. So having something to back up your power at your house to run those kind of things is necessary. But also you got to make sure you secure it. You got to make sure that you are getting one with a heck of a good muffler on it. Because I'm here to tell you, if somebody can, they will. Take care, Teresa. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. The Revolution series, Chris brought that up. I wanted to see that. My brother Reaper was talking about it, and when we were back doing the Warrior Collective stuff, and I never got to watch it. I found it, and then they wanted me to like buy the series or something. I'm like, but wait, he told me they didn't actually finish the series. So I don't know. I haven't looked into it anymore since then. They wanted me to buy the whole thing, and I'm like, no, I'll catch it on a replay or something. But yes, my tip of my hat to the other utility guys out there doing what they do. You know, we do everything we can in supply to make sure you guys have what you need to go do those things. There's a lot of sacrifice made on the back end that a lot of people don't see. And there's a lot of hands involved with making those things happen. Our site, you got 3 of us there working on that stuff. You got our driver driving the stuff to get down there, plus the people on the other end that have to receive it in to then distribute it to the guys that are actually and delivering it to the guys that are actually going out and using it. So here's to you folks. Okay, so the series is good. Don't like the way it ends. Yeah, I'll probably have the same opinion if I do get to watch it, or when I do get to watch it. Sandbags around the generator does definitely help to drown out noise. Don't stack them too close to inhibit any airflow. Got to make sure it stays cool. The type of generator that I like is the Predator. They have them at Harbor Freight. Basically, their engine is a knockoff Honda that you can use a Honda motor in place of it or Honda parts to repair it. And they typically run quieter than a lot of the other ones. A Generac generator is going to cost you several thousands. You're talking those might cost you like $2,300 for a Big Daddy for a Predator. So I like those. That's what I have. It's what I've used, and it runs everything I need it to run. It's like a 4375, and it'll run all my stuff no problem. Can't run the house, but I can run the freezers and fridges and stuff like that. It's enough for me to be able to do that. That's basically all I need, really. Because I have enough batteries, I have enough charging stations otherwise, and ways of running power and 12 volt. TMT, welcome, sir. Welcome to the masquerade. But yeah, I'm still trying to catch up on rest and recovery and stuff like that from getting butthole from the storm stuff. But I just kept pushing because it's like I kept saying, it's, you know, people are without power. They need power. I got to do what I got to do on my end to ensure that the guys that are hooking them up got everything they need and they're fully kitted out the way they need to be. So, dude, those Predators are the way to go, Chris. Seriously, I mean, for the price per watt to like parts, if you have to, you can even buy like a replacement motor to have around to just swap them out if you need to. And you can even buy the Honda and it will literally just bolt in. Bobby B, what's up, brother? You can just literally basically pull out the Predator and drop in the Honda. Yeah, you're gonna need a Big Daddy. You might even have to run twins. Um, I have seen twins on trailers like that for different stuff, like down at the fair and all that kind of thing. Um, Sometimes it's better to run two smallers to get your peak. That way you're not just overtaxing one and just raping it for everything it's worth. It's easier to share the load between two. Run certain things on one, run certain things on another, but make sure you have everything labeled as what goes to where. Just in case you ever have to troubleshoot that stuff, take it from the electrician. Makes it easier. But these little guys, bandanas. I want to talk about these guys a little bit here today. Bandanas are an EDC unsung hero. I talked about the multi-tools being an unsung hero. Bandanas are truly an unsung hero too. You can do a lot with these stupid things. Get a little sweat, you know, if you're bald like me, you can turn it into a do-rag for your head to keep the sweat out of your eyes. If you're hot, soak it in cold water, wrap it around your neck, cool off your carotid artery. It helps cool you down quicker. If you need some shade, you need to fan yourself, right? Injury, wrap it up. I personally like carrying a military cravat because they're a little bit bigger than these bandanas. Sometimes you can get like the double and triple XL bandanas and stuff. They work good. You can make slings out of them, stuff like that. We have used these in the past in situations with a piece of paracord and a Sharpie, and we've been able to make improvised tourniquets to get somebody out of a bad situation. Like in hiking situations, stuff like that. If you don't have a full-on IFAC with you or a booby kit or anything, we have used bandanas and cravats with, like I said, paracord and Sharpies and some more paracord to tie it off. We've done that in the past and it has worked. Prepared C has a lot of great stuff on his channel and available to him to sell to the folks. So hit his store up. Always make sure you have those things on you. But if nothing else, in a poor man situation, these guys with some paracord and a Sharpie, you can improvise what you need to in a pinch. It's not your go-to. Always go to the tourniquet. But if you need to, you can use these, and they do work in a pinch. If you're in a survival situation and you're left with nothing else, it will slow the flow. It does help. It's better than nothing. Okay. These do work. They also work as if you just need a pressure dressing, not necessarily a tourniquet, but a pressure dressing. You can do the same kind of thing with these. You can make splints out of these. If you don't have any other cordage, you can take and shred it in half. Take a couple sticks and tie them off nice and tight. You can create a splint with a bandana or a cravat. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this fabric. So make sure you're having fabric. Even if you're not using it like that, I always have bandanas with me. Daughter's hair tie broke. And they were like trying to play volleyball or softball or something at a cookout or something. Here you go. Here's my bandana. You can make up a Rosie the Riveter headdress. Yep. Exactly what Robert said. That's actually where I learned that trick. We had our paracord. We always saved our freaking bunch of our lines from guys parachuting. I was not airborne, but I had a bunch of buddies who were, and they would give me grips of cordage. I always had a few hanks, and I always carried like a 15-foot little hank in my pocket, one of my cargo pockets. And I always had bandanas. Even my daily life, I always carry bandana. Doesn't matter what color it is. If you're going with camo, okay, cool camo. If you're going with the white, the blue, the red, the green, the black, whatever, doesn't matter, as long as you have one. If the Slishman, as TMT said, that is a great, great, great device to have. The thing I would say, if you're the outdoorsy type and you're going out hunting or hiking or mountain biking or something like that, might do good to have a bright blaze orange one, high vis for signaling. Those are good to have as well. I carry a orange one along in my my Minuteman gear. I carry a bright orange one, and I have the camos, just because. Yep, duct tape. I always carry duct tape to help with chest seals. I always carry duct tape to make improvised bandages. All that kind of stuff. I always put like a little flat, fold the duct tape in on itself or make a little roll of it, make it smaller. All of my lighters, I always put duct tape around because one, you can do all kinds of repairs with them. I talked about the my mini Altoids tin that I set up as a repair tin. I put a flat of duct tape in there, about 5 feet of duct tape. So that way, in case I have to redo a seam, like a seam had split on my pants or on my shirt or something, I can run that tape on there and then I can stitch through it and it's going to help strengthen it. So duct tape works for everything. I do need to get some of those Slishmans too. I do need to talk to Prepared C offline too about some stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to get a couple of those to throw around. Because they're great for like the ready-made quick go-to. Granted, you can have your tourniquet staged and prepped, but those things just seem so slick. Just so slick. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up the thing of bandanas and how helpful they can be with not just wiping sweat and doing that kind of thing, but also cooling yourself off if you need to. We talked about the water vine on Whiskey Wednesday, wrapping this around a pipe or something and letting it will pre-filter your water as it drips into a cup or something. Here's your pre-filter. Yet another thing. If you need to blindfold yourself because you're not wanting to see Johnny Depp and all of his drippings, you got to blindfold. Drink of today is the Monster Juice Viking Berry. This stuff is spectacular. I really like it, and thank you to Ironside for pointing it out to me. Actually, kind of looks like Ironside in that. No apple juice. No, not doing the apple juice today. Levi, welcome, sir. Yeah, I drank a copious amount of beer last night, and I was literally smoking ribs and all that stuff yesterday, TMT. So drank Erie Brewing Company Railbenders. It's a Scottish style ale. Kind of gives you the vibe of like a Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Love it. One of my favorites. That and a bunch of Yingling and everything else yesterday. So today I'm backing off the stuff and looking at more recovery today after the week I've had, putting in all the hours and such. It's like I don't really get to work out much because I do all my working out at work. Some of those coils, like those coils I was making, they were 692 feet each. Those things each weigh about 50 ish, 50 to 55 pounds each. So you're humping those things after you make them and then fighting the wire and everything else. My forearms were like freaking rocks after I was done. They're still pretty freaking tight. But the 50-pound ones, they're like, okay, whatever. Some of the ones we do, like the 14M coils, they're like 92 pounds a piece. And then we're humping those things onto a pallet. It's gets tiring, but I do a lot of that upper body stuff all day. So whenever it comes time to work out, it's like, because my arms are like noodles anyway at that point. But, and I thank you guys for sticking with us on Wednesday. Like I said, the storms and everything else going on here. Internet's just been absolutely stupid. So stupid. Had to finish off Whiskey Wednesday by using my old cellular on 5G with the level headphones versus using this fancy setup I got here. But it is what it is, man. The show must go on. So got to do what we got to do. But yeah, I was working with Twin a little bit before this live stream, doing some stuff he's got in the works. So I'm sure at some point he's going to have some content on that. Big Bearded Warrior, I will be getting with you after all this and we'll figure stuff out for something. We got special planned. Got some special stuff planned with Twin too. Ooh. We'll be making our way around. So anyway, I hope you guys are all having a great day, a great morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this in the replay crew. For all you guys joining me here at 12:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, 4/25. Thank you for tuning into the live and being in the live chat. Appreciate all of you. As far as videos for me, I've been hit with so much freaking work. I was supposed to start doing the podcast last week. Hasn't happened because I've been busy dealing with storm stuff. Had videos planned to put on here. Haven't got to it because of storm stuff. Next Saturday, I will be doing the Lake Bottom Lounge podcast. And I'm not exactly sure, probably the following Friday, be doing that Saturday, be the following Friday. I don't even have a calendar up here in the cave. But let's see, 10th is when we're recording. So possibly the 16th is when that'll be out on Spotify for him. I don't know. It depends on how many storms we end up getting hit with and how much more time I got to put in at work and all that kind of stuff. Depends on what I'll be getting back to getting the videos going and getting the podcast up and going. It is a lot of work to do that podcast. So it's not like here where, yeah, I come here and I talk for an hour. Technically, yes, this live stream is kind of a podcast. Whiskey Wednesday is kind of a podcast. But that, lawfully, welcome, sir. When I do that podcast, it takes a lot of research. When we do Whiskey Wednesdays, a lot of times I'm able to come up with that stuff like a page or two of notes and I'm good to go. The Tin Man TNA podcast on Spotify, I will have like 14 pages of bullet point notes for that. Sometimes I squirrel here and squirrel there and go into my... There's a little... Am I back? Hopefully you guys are still with me. There is literally no reason that internet should drop as much as mine does being in town. Being right here, suburbia area, there is no reason internet should drop the way this shit does. It's insane. For what we pay for the service I get is absolute crap, and I have a hardline connection. So, yet again, we have to call them up and have a fist fight with the best internet provider out there, Xfinity. F them. F them. Like, it's ridiculous, guys. I apologize for all the technical stupid glitches that this crap has. I know it's not on my end, it's on their end. I mean, I went and ran data lines throughout the house to the router. I've checked the coax to make sure everything's good. All the connections out to their point is perfect. Perfect. The splitters have been replaced. The connectors have been replaced. High frequency barrel connectors and all the outlets for all the coax. No, not on my end. It's on them. So, such is life, guys. It's a pain, but I thank you and I love you for dealing with it to come back and see this bearded freak. So, tis what it is. We just work around today. So, ACR and I were talking. Y'all caught the last Whiskey Wednesday. If you didn't, go back and watch it. It's really cool. We're going to talk about these kind of things, like little pocket survival kits. I have a couple videos up on my channel of the Altoids repair tin, the little one I was talking about earlier, of the boo-boo kits. I make little boo-boo kit ones. Then I also have the pocket survival kit. Have a video on that as well. It's the size of a pack of mints. And you can literally take and put medication. You can put Band-Aids, creams, whatever. Like I have in here, this thing's packed full and I throw the Ranger bands on it to help hold it together. But I put Tylenol in here. Put Advil in here, at least a couple doses. Some dental relief cream, right? Because we hate, or gel or whatever you want to call it, because we hate having those toothaches and stuff. Hydrocortisone cream. Some little antiseptic wipe. Triple antibiotic cream. First aid cream. And the thing about the first aid cream versus the triple antibiotic is this stuff has a bit of lidocaine to it to help with pain. So this is good for that kind of stuff. Alcohol wipes, in case you got to clean something up. And then you can get into the Band-Aids, the butterflies, the little steri strips, all that stuff in the bottom. Down underneath, I have a couple safety pins in here. In case I need to do something with some safety pins or use that bandana to create some kind of dressing. I can't fit an ace bandage in here, but I can use that bandana. I also put a razor blade in here in case I need to cut something, or a little scalpel, like an X-Acto knife blade or something you can put in here. You can even put in like a sewing needle if you need to for digging out a splinter or something. Sometimes if you have, like I do, like 75,000 freaking mini Swiss Army knives, you can always pull these little teeny tiny tweezers. Sometimes they suck, sometimes they're great. They also work really good for getting out of handcuffs. Don't ask me how I know. You can throw these little teeny tiny tweezers in there in case you got to pull a splinter or a stinger or something like that, some type of sliver out of yourself. You can put those in there as well. I have like 30 or 40 of those freaking knives, and some of them that were good for the tweezers, but the rest of it's kind of crap. I save those, save the toothpick things from them because they work good for certain things too. So you can put those little teeny tiny tweezers in a kit that's, you know, as big as a freaking, you know, y'all should know how big one of these tins are. That I have all that medical boo-boo kit stuff right there. Boo-boo only. No IFAC there, just boo-boos. Okay. But it can help me in some aspects to create stuff for treating something a little bit more serious with the bandana and the safety pins and stuff. I dropped a couple things on the floor here. I'll have to repack that after I'm done here, but whatever. Yeah, we used to. Robert brought it up there. We used to use the plastic soap dish, like the little things for like putting your soap in, bar of soap to take and travel with you. We've used those in the past too. I like using the Altoids tins because if I need to, I can make char cloth in these. Use that bandana and make char cloth for starting a fire. Another cool thing about bandanas, cotton, one of these, you can make char cloth. I also use my chew cans. I will take, like a Zin can or a chew can or something like that. The plastic ones work the best. You can make, I have a fishing kit I've done, and I have a fire kit that I did a video on with those things. They work great. Throw a couple licks of electrical tape around the outside to help waterproof it and keep everything together, and you're in business. So, in Ranger bands, you could use rubber bands. Just as long as you have something, I can actually even use these if I need to for different things with that kit. So having small kits is going to be cool, and we will get more in depth into that. I just wanted to break this one out because I was talking about the bandana and medical. So I wanted to kind of throw this out there too with you guys today. Something small, fits in a purse, fits in a cargo pocket. I carry mine in a cargo pocket every day. But how many times have I had to delve into that dang thing? Last summer, I was over at my dad's doing some weed eating, and there was a wasp nest there, and next thing you know, one of them came out and decided to smack me on the neck. Went to the Benadryl, went to the bee sting cream and put a sting wipe on there and held it on there for a while. I was getting kind of, so I'm like, you know what? I better stop, cool myself off, so on and so forth. I had a bandana, I wetted it cold water, wrapped around my neck, helped keep my blood cool, all that kind of stuff because it was warm. Figure if I cool myself down a little bit, my blood's not going to be flying as fast. I'm just chill, kicked on the AC in the truck, just sat there for a while. I started feeling better. So knowing what to do and how to do it with this kind of stuff, having something to utilize in that aspect, good. I got caught with a piece of wire on my thumb the other night through the glove. Had a little splinter come out and twink, smack me. Well, had my cream right there, put a little bit of antiseptic wipe, clean it off, put a little bit of cream on, threw a bitch sticker on it, and glove back on and went back to work. I had it right there. I didn't have to stop what I was doing, go all the way up to the freaking office to go to a first aid kit. I had it right there. So something that's small can do a lot of good for you. And not even for you. Might be the kids, might be the husband or wife, might be a friend or something. You can help a lot of people with something really small. Boo-boo. I'm going to have to come out with a maybe, call that the boo-boo kit, right? Maybe the survival kit should be the yogi kit. Yogi and boo-boo. Trademark Tin Man. But yes, bitch sticker. Yeah, we got all kinds of fun names for stuff. As I kick off this monster, this thing was actually really good. I will say it's 200 calories and 49 grams of sugar. So it's got a lot of sugar to it, but very tasty. Quite enjoyed that. Quite enjoyed it. Yep, it's that time again. Friday was very sad. I chewed like 3 cans of chew and I annihilated a can of Zins, 6 milligram Zins. I had my like face packed up. It was like nicotine and caffeine were what got me through. I was down to Mountain Dews and Red Bulls and everything else. I know they're not good for you, but sometimes we gotta, pop a few ibuprofen to get rid of the aches and pains and the swelling, and down a couple Red Bulls to just, Ranger Band-Aid as we call it. Yeah, it's been It's been special. But hopefully this week will not be nearly as bad and I can like slow down a little bit. I told the wife I need one of them things like what do they call it? Like that time off thing in those days off, you know. I could really go for some of those days off, just scratching myself like I'm tweaking. You lost us for about 10 minutes. I don't know. I lost internet for like 2, 3 minutes, but came right back on. Um, some of the folks like were able to stick in, but and stay with us. But well, I'm sorry, the internet's stupid here. So yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that things were happening the way they were, Robert. But yeah, we're definitely praying for you guys, and thoughts and prayers are definitely with you. It's always terrible dealing with stuff whenever it comes to family and close friends and stuff like that. It sucks. Been through all kinds of stuff in the last several years, and just keeps coming at you. But for us, we just keep grinding. We just keep doing what we're doing to help strengthen them. That's all we can do. Thoughts and prayers with them and everything else, but you just got to keep doing what you're doing to keep them solidified in the fact that they know that you got their back. But yeah, I'm not complaining about my week as far as that goes, because I know it could have been a heck of a lot worse. But I'm just tired. Not removing the catheter until like Tuesday or Wednesday. Catheters can be a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes it's good having them in, sometimes it's bad having them in. I mean, it's never good having a catheter, obviously, but like it helps the body with other functions and so on and so forth. But I'm not here to go into the full medical thing and all that. Just saying, I'm betting it'd be good to have it out at this point if it's been in for a while. Well, moving on to my next beverage here, I'm going to the Summit Cola from Aldi's. See how that fares. Good snap. Good snap to open. Ooh, this one's 170 calories and 43 grams of sugar. Well, tastes good. Actually, I'd put that with like one of my favorites, like RC. It has the RC cola vibe. I prefer RC because it seems like more down home to me. And as a kid growing up, yeah, we had Pepsi and Coke and all that kind of stuff, and I'd drink it or whatever. But I lean more Pepsi than I did Coke. But for some things, I lean more Coke than I did Pepsi. But like RC was my staple for everything. Like I always went to RC for some reason. That kind of has the RC vibe to it. So it is what it is. My review of the cola from Aldi's. A little tip I want to give you guys. I'll get to the tip here in a second. I want to read what Robert said. Oh, dude. Yeah, having that and hitting those antibiotics. uh, Being on heavy duty antibiotics sucks. Um, yeah, when I had to be on some heavy duty stuff years ago for an infection, of all things, it was a tooth infection. Actually, when I lived in Washington, there, I had to go to Kennewick General and have surgery. My jaw right here, because of a tooth that I needed taken care of that my dentist could not get to for weeks, yeah, it got infected. So I ended up going to an Aspen Dental there. Um, yeah, when I went down there, they were like, "Oh, well, come on in." They did X-rays, they did this, they did that, they did the whole thing, engaging each tooth, and so on and so forth. Okay, we're all finished up, and then they took me into this office and sat me down and said, "Oh, well, we have a dental plan figured out for you, how we want to go about doing stuff. Um, in total, it's probably going to be like 14 grand. We'd recommend starting with teeth whitening. Where would you like to begin?" I said, "I came in for an emergency extraction because I have an infection." They're like, "Oh, no. Oh, well, we can't see you for that." I'm like, "Well, why not?" And they said, "Well, we as soon as we could see you is Monday." Like, well, my regular dentist was like weeks out. I came here for that, but then you put me through all this other crap. Like, could you have taken it out if you would have just done that rather than doing all this? Well, yeah. All right, fine. Schedule me for Monday. That was on a Thursday. Friday, when I woke up, y'all have seen Family Guy, Quagmire. Giggity, giggity. All right. Yeah. This side of my face was swelled up to the point I could not look down with this eye and see this shoulder. It was that swollen. Just the one side of my face, it looked like I had a volleyball on the side of my face. It was terrible. Called him, went back in. As soon as I walked in, like everybody in the place, like, so I was like, yeah, I got to be bad. Went, and the dentist that was going to see me, she was eating her lunch. And like, I walked by and she like stopped what she was doing, like put on gloves and like came over, get in a chair, sent me to an oral surgeon. The oral surgeon, when I got there, he took me right back. My ex-wife was filling out my paperwork. I went right back. He went and stopped what he was doing, came over and checked me. And he's like, "Well, I have some good news and bad news." I'm like, "Okay, what do we got?" "Well, the good news is I can save your life. The bad news is you're going to be in the hospital for about 4 days." Got me up to Kennewick General, went into the ER. They knew I was coming. He called up and said I was on my way there to get me set up on an IV with antibiotics in the waiting room before they got me admitted. I spent 4 days there, and they had me on some seriously like heavy duty antibiotics. It was bad. Um, Guts were just absolutely just, I couldn't eat right for like days leading into it. And so when I got there, I just wanted to eat everything after they got the surgery done, and I had a drain like down into my neck and coming up out of my mouth. Like, as soon as the doctor came in and he was like, "No, you're healing up good. Everything's good. I'm going to take out the drain." Pulled that drain. Everything looked good. And he's like, "You can go to regular diet." I was like, "Really?" "So I can eat whatever I want?" He's like, "Yep. Anything on the menu." Sweet. I ended up eating like a freaking hog because I hadn't eaten for better part of a week. It sucked. But yeah, so you did work there for a few years. I had this happen. It's been like 2011. I think it's, yeah, I think 2011 is whenever, 2011 or 2012 is whenever I had this done up there. But yeah, I loved eating after I got that out and could feel better. It was great. But yeah, those heavy antibiotics, they like roiled up my gut something fierce. The tip I was going to talk to you guys about: having some type of butane torch, not necessarily like a lighter per se, but to able to fuse things and melt things and doing stuff. These things are great. These are great. I have this one that I use for doing my pack scrims and rifle wraps, my helmet scrims and stuff, and doing with paracord. These things are freaking great. Lighters work great, but torches are even better. If you cut off a zip tie, you can hit it with that just on the part you cut off, so you don't have that like point on there to cut yourself. Hit it with a torch a little bit, melts it right down, nice and smooth. No cutting yourself. Clove oil does work great for tooth infections. I recently got a recipe for a mouth rinse that is boiling water. Take a mason jar and you put sea salt in it. You put little cloves in it, like 4 or 5. Throw in some bay leaves, and you cut up a lemon slices, squeeze that in there, drop those in, and then pour the boiling water over it, seal it off, set the lid on it so it does its steeping, and then straining that out, and then using that to rinse your mouth. Oh, I think that's the only thing that kept me from getting infected over on the other side here this past year. I have great teeth. I really don't have a whole lot of issues, but then like they're strong and everything's good. Just I inherited issues from my parents. I brush floss like a freaking champ. Just have issues, I guess. Sepsis is very dangerous. Thing I learned in survival medicine is tobacco actually has antiseptic properties. So something to keep in the back of your mind if you're dealing with that kind of stuff. You do have tobacco around. It does have antiseptic properties to it. You were working at Cadlick. Huh. I went over there for my kidney stones. Yeah, that was a hard time too. That would have been like about the year before. Whew, it was bad. Stress definitely does take a toll, Krista. I think my issue with my backs are the fact that I have really bad acid reflux and stuff, and I get acid attacks at night. It was hitting my back teeth, and it was like messing them up. So I've taken care of the acid, got away from using like omeprazole and stuff like that, like the big pharma stomach meds, because those make you super tired and they rob protein from your body to work. So I got away from those and I started using turmeric with ginger, and that has helped me tremendously with the acid. I haven't had an acid attack since I switched over to that stuff. I think in some aspects when it comes to kidney stones, I would rather be shot or cut than deal with kidney stones. That one was terrible. I was working down around Leslie and Gage area, down like in behind where Albertsons was or is. My first week working with Columbia Basin, and I was finished up my last job of the week. Gonna go home, get cleaned up, then we were gonna go up to the fair. And I got hit with a kidney stone. I thought I was cramping up or I was dehydrated or something. No, I was dehydrated, but like I called my boss, told him what was going on, everything else. I said, I cannot finish this. I gotta go to the hospital. So I drove from down at Leslie and Gage up onto Clearwater by TS Cattle Company, where Columbia Basin's old office was. Had my ex come over from Pasco over to Kennewick to pick me up. And she took like 45 freaking minutes to get there from like Road 68, which I still can't figure that out. But picked me up. She took me over to Cadlick, got me in, and finally, whenever they found out, oh yeah, it's kidney stone, they basically gave me a strainer and said, okay, good luck. Well, thankfully, my nurse was one of my customers from years of doing service work. And yeah, she ended up hitting me with, what was it, Dilaudid or something. I was like, oh my gosh, the pain's gone. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay down. I was just like pacing, trying to walk it out, I guess, like childbirth, But whenever she went to take me out in the wheelchair, she snuck a syringe in her smock and then came out. Went to As soon as I got in the car and got in the back seat, she's like, "I got something for you." I was like, "What's that?" She's like, "A little bit to get you home." Hit me with a little more delight. I was like, "Yeah." By the time we pulled out of the parking lot to get on G-Way to head back over, like I was out before my ex crossed the double yellow line, pulling out, making a left there. I was out up against the window. Um, Apparently, they went through McDonald's drive-through. They stopped at Sunmart on 68 and Burden there, got gas. She went in and got smokes and everything else. We got home. I get out. I grabbed all my stuff, walked in, was taking stuff out of my pockets and everything else. She's like, "Dude, you just need to go to bed." I'm like, I'm hungry. It's like, "Well, you have all this food." So apparently I ate a 20-piece, 2 double cheeseburgers, and a basket of fries and drank a sweet tea, which is what was causing my kidney stones. Um, I don't even remember eating it. I remember the stuff, like I woke up hours and hours later to the stuff sitting there. I'm like, huh? When did I eat that? She's like, "You were sitting there in your underwear eating McDonald's." I'm like, okay, okay, I'm going back to sleep. Yeah, one of my good friends out there, he lives down in College Place now, but he used to be a cook at TS many years ago, many years ago. I only ever ate there one time, and he came. My buddy that worked there, he came to work at DirecTV after TS Cattle Company closed down. Um, Went to eat there one time, and I was like, "Oh my god, this steak is so good! It's like done perfectly the way I love it." And I said to the waitress, I was like, "Hey, is there any chance I could talk to the cook?" She's like, "Yeah, we aren't too busy. Yeah, he might have some time to come out." And here it was him. And then when he came to work at DirecTV, I was like, "Chef!" 98 to 99. He was there, I would say, 04 to 06, 07, somewhere in there. You're running errands and watching. Don't run into anything, ACR. Be safe. Be safe. Hopefully, you're actually taking the truck and not just running, because you do get a lot of miles on. You probably close all your rings on your watch or whatever. I'm sorry, I can't get into the smartwatches. I have one. I have a Samsung Gear Watch. I used to like the thing, but battery life is terrible. I'll stick with the analogs. Call me old school, but I can use it for more than just a watch. Acts as a compass too, so I do like that feature. You can't get that with a digital or a smartwatch. Yeah, you can get a compass app on your watch, but it takes down battery. I can use the sun in northern hemisphere and lines to tell where direction is, roughly cardinal direction, from an analog. I am tired, boss. I'm sure you are too if you're smoking all that meat, man. All my grocery running around, I would have picked up stuff for biscuits or gravy, but well, sometimes ACR, that's why you gotta write down the list, man. You gotta write the list. Calcium, as Robert said, kidney stones and calcium. What I found in my research, um, for about a year or so, I worked out at Hanford doing hazmat when they moved from their old labs to their new labs, disassembling old lead caves, stuff like that. Got to work on the cave that housed moon rocks and all kinds of stuff allegedly, and there were isotopes stored in this one lead cave that we disassembled that went to allegedly become part of the Manhattan Project. When I was working out there, I got these really cool things called ERG guidebooks. Some of you might know what they are. They're a great tool to have. Actually, give me 2 seconds because I have mine sitting over here. So you have these things. Hazardous materials compliance books, right? But then you also have the little emergency ERG guidebook. Tells you all kinds of cool stuff with chemicals and compounds and all kinds of stuff. It's all in here. You can learn a lot about chemistry and chemicals and stuff like that with these. When I got hit with my kidney stones, I decided I was going to sit down with my ERG guidebook because I wasn't getting any answers from doctors. I got in there and I found out, okay, did my research on kidney stones, and the basis of all kidney stones is going to be calcium. Okay, but it has to have something to bind to the calcium in a lot of cases. So you could have magnesium, potassium, all these different things to bind to the kidneys, the calcium to create a bigger stone. Well, calcium's the basis of it. So I'm like, okay, what can I ingest to get rid of that calcium or break down that calcium? And looking in the ERG guidebook, I was able to see what stuff is there, what compounds, what natural chemicals I could use to break down. Well, you need an acid, right? So I got to looking, and water is good for flushing. Ascorbic acid, citric acid are the best at affecting that calcium inside your body. So that means your vitamin C's, all your fruit juice acids, like those, they went to work right away. Lemon juice, lime juice, grapefruit juice, cranberry is good for your kidneys. Cranberry does have a high vitamin C content to it, so it helps. Now at this point in my life, I take cranberry pills every morning, and it has kept away the kidney stones. As long as I don't drink a lot of iced tea, I'm good. But initially getting into that and finding out that ascorbic acid, citric acid, I can ingest that. It's vitamin C. Will break down that calcium to allow me to have that relief, and I won't have to deal with the stones in there. Then I can drink the water to help flush everything out. So the cranberry helps. Excuse me. The cranberry helps to keep them from forming in me. I have a cousin that he has really bad kidney stones, and he has to drink like lime juice and alfalfa to break down his type of kidney stones. So kidney stones are no joke. I am not a fan. So yeah, they suck. Put up stuff for next weekend. Oh man. New York strip steaks, bacon wrap fillets, jalapeno popper stuffed brisket. Ooh. Suck it now. Reason number 326 why metal still has a gut. Good food. Yeah, I drink a ton of water, but if I drink like 2 glasses of iced tea, I'm done. Brisket queso. Oh, ooh. I said to the wife about this evening taking her out for dinner. I think this week I need to make queso sauce, and I need to have quesadillas here one night this week. Make homemade queso sauce, and oh, I'm like the sauce guy, the Alfredo, the queso, all that. I do all that, and usually is a big hit around these parts. But I don't have any brisket. I'm not firing the smoker back up because it's too wet outside. It rained here last night. Rain a little bit today. But as Eric Draven says, it can't rain all the time. But yeah, I think I am going to make that queso this week. Thanks, ACR. At least I got dinner figured out for one night. But all the food we made 3 racks of ribs, that sploot chicken with the chicken dust on it, and then smoking the mac and cheese. The wife made spinach dip. She made like little smokies and stuff like that, and meatballs. We had a bunch of fruit and veggie trays and chips and all this and all that. The usual birthday party cookout kind of stuff. We literally only had like a quarter of a rack of ribs left. So I don't have any leftovers, thankfully. There's only like about maybe like 2 cups of mac and cheese left, maybe. Glad it all got eaten, so I don't have to eat it for 2 weeks. Oh man. So TMT's smoking meat. ACR's running errands. What's everybody else up to this beautiful Sunday? Me, I'm doing this. Then I'm gonna go puddle around, get my laundry in, do some things here, and if I can, I might go over there and sit on that drum set for a while and smash around on there for a little bit. I haven't done that in like 2 weeks, which is insane because I used to play drums every single freaking day, all the time. But life. On the pool deck, Bobby B. Hell yeah, brother. Twiddling your thumbs and talking to the walls. Well, hopefully they're not talking back to you, Robert. If they are, break out that pucker powder, get the hand, put them in their place. Those walls need to listen to you. You're a man of culture. A few small things on the trailer, and then laundry, Krista. Well, laundry is that thankless job that we all have to do. No, I do my own laundry. My wife doesn't do it. I just do my own because I have work clothes and other clothes, and I'm particular. Cannot confirm nor deny what they tell you to do. Plausible deniability, my friend. Plausible deniability. But yeah, I metal's domestic tip for the working man. Baking soda. Baking soda in with the work clothes. Works great. If you get stains, Dawn Power Wash pre-treat. Works great. Hey, our kids do their own laundry occasionally. We have to like follow up behind each other to move it from the washer to the dryer or dryer out into their basket and set it to the side for them. We all do that, help each other out with that. But no, like if I'm in a pinch or something, like, yeah, Mrs. will throw the stuff in for me, but I always end up folding it and putting it away in the end. Sometimes it's, with our laundry, with everything else going on, it ends up being like, week to 10 days. It only takes me 14 business days to get my laundry put away. No, I'm picky about that. I try to get it done like right away. Perfect time in ACR. Perfect timing. I think I have a friend outside the door here. Give me 1 second. Come on, Gigi. Come on. Come here with your furry orange pajamas. I got PJ today, guys. I got a little peach. Little peachy peach. This is the wife's baby. She's not Tacticat. This is Tacticat's sister. She's a chonk. This little cat loves to play fetch. I don't know why. She does. You can't tell by looking at the big old chunk. Huh. Hunchy jumps. And she's going to hop down off my lap and terrorize my room. Yes, I left the door open for you. She's just got to walk around here and be like, Dad, what do you got going on here? What do you got going on there? What's this? Taking all the smells, kid. Taking all the smells. We had Mags down here a little while ago, but before I jumped on, I left the door open. I was like, okay, well, if Mags wants to come in and say hi, I'll let him come in and be a silly retriever. But he must have went back upstairs with his mom. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell this cat's doing. She flooped. And she wants belly rubs. I'm not doing that. It's a trap. I'll go for the belly rub, and next thing you know, murder mittens. I ain't playing that. Her mom's about the worst. Nova will take and she'll floop over like she wants a belly rub. Don't do it. Don't do it. She will just latch in and she doesn't bite you to hurt you, but she just like on you. It's a trap every time with Nova. Her wife's molested her from the day she was born and carrying her like a baby and giving her belly rubs to the point now she loves them. So does Tacticat. Charmy loves belly rubs for some reason. Well, come on. Get your furry orange pajamas up here. Come on. Come on. Peach. Peach. Come. Come. Come on. Get your chunkus butt up here. Come on. Come on, Chunk. Thunder Chunk ain't listening. She ain't listening. Come on. Come on. Come on, Jeej. Peachy. Come on. Come. She's purring. I don't know if you guys could even hear her, but she's purring like a freaking monster. Come on. Come. No, she's going to do another lap, flipping her tail and purring and getting her motor running and everything, but she's just not going to jump up here. Orangies are a whole other type of special. I'm sure Krista with her ginger kitty, she can tell you. Orangies are special. Special. Come on. Jeejums. Come on. She keeps jumping up, but like, come on. She like stands up, but won't jump up. Any other time, she'd jump up and be crawling all over this stuff. You know what? Come here, you freak. Hurry, orange freak. Say hello. Say hello. Hello. Fergus. Yeah, definitely orange cat energy, Grace. We have to put these stupid dingle bells on them. Like, we have tan carpet upstairs, and this one will blend in the night, so we can hear them. Peachy poo. Huh. This cat's special. It's my wife's cat, but she's my buddy. This is my rubber ducky. When I go to take a shower, this cat will lay outside the shower on the floor or get up on the toilet and lay there. And she's my rubber ducky for my bath time. Just has to hang with Dad. Okay. Go on, Chunkums. Get out of here, Thickums. Go do orange pajama stuff over there. Had all three of the brothers, ginger boys. Aw. Fergus, Ellie, and Finnegan. She is Peach. We call her Peach Jr. Nova had 5 kittens, and the 2 that survived were her and Charmy. Yeah, she's definitely a special one. What do you want? We have her, and she's a rarity because she's a female orange. They're apparently a rarity. So we have this little goob. But we love her. We love her. Anytime she jumps up on anything, she's all drrr, 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 drrr. You go to pet her and she but she is a purry little freak. the little Cheeto, our 20 bean burrito. Huh. Cheeto, the 20 bean burrito. And she likes to go piggy hunting under the covers. If your feet are underneath the covers in the bed, we call it piggy hunting. She'll go after your piggies. Yeah, we're like, no, we're not doing piggy hunting tonight. Time for bed. She generally fucks off. Mm-mm. Yeah, there isn't too many of them. The polydactyls, I've had some friends that had the cats with the extra thumb. they're they're a little special, like you said. But oh, cat. Honestly, when I heard the chirp outside the door, I thought it was Dr. Cat coming to say hi. No, it was her sister. I seriously doubt I'll get Nova to come in here. She don't like coming in too much. Obi-Wan, he's off sleeping somewhere. It's his day, May the 4th. It's my daughter's cat. He's a good boy. He's older. He's very strong, but he's a very stubborn, and he's always scowling and brooding. But he's happy as can be. He'll be sitting there, just purring, with the like resting bitch face on his face. It's like, what are you doing, dude? You're totally happy and loving the scratches you're getting, and he's what the hell? And then Piper is my middle daughter's cat. And Piper is a calico. She's a bit of a crackhead. Like we swear she has like Kitty Downs or something. She has two brain cells that are fighting over third place. She was born without a brain, just like a couple little wires hanging there, and every once in a while there's like a spark between the two. That's Piper. She's cute. She's pretty. That's all I can say. The only reason she would come in here is to destroy something, I'm sure. She's back here playing guitar. She got the back leg up. Playing guitar solo. Peach. Can't whoop them. The cat. Welcome, the cat. I too have the cat right here. Her name is Peachy. She come to enjoy the party. Oh, you gonna come up, Gigimus? Come on. Come on. Yes. Yep, here she is. Cat, meet cat. I'm very excited to have my kitty on the party. The cat. That is awesome. As I'm sitting here playing with this one. I'll never forget seeing Nova catch a bird. Whenever Nova, her mom, caught that bird, seeing that freaking multicam cat just jump up and grab that bird out of the air and then like run it over to me, be like, "Look, Dad, look what I got," and then tear off into the bushes to go eat it. I was like, "Good girl." she a good hunter. And this thing is just a chonk, little Miss Thunder chonk. And she's going to park. Whereas her sister, Tacticat, she will just lay across the back as you guys have seen before. She'll just hang out. Whereas this one's going to maybe go into a loaf formation. You get to see the orange loaf. But more than likely, she's just going to rub a little bit and then she's going to drop. You'll hear the as she hits the ground. turn lights on and off and open the doors. I had dogs that did that, and one of them, he was a husky ghost. We called him Ghost because he would disappear. Um, yeah, he was an escape artist. Could like regular door knobs, just open them and just leave. It was a pain in the ass. And then Great Dane I had in Washington, he'd get out and he could hit the thing and open the door and go. And he was a pain in the butt. Hard to catch to come home. He really did not want to come back. I can't blame him. I left too. But yeah, she is fully safe and comfortable here. We've literally, they were born in our house, and her and her sister, like, there's nothing we can't do to these cats. Their paws, their ears, their mouths. They've been fully, you know, molested. We play with them all the time, and yeah, she likes to come and hang out in the cave with me. Bringing back the squirrels. I had a cat that would bring frogs in, mice, chipmunks, ground moles, whatever. He'd bring them back to us whenever he went out. He loved bringing us back a prize. When I lived out there in Washington, I had a cat. It was my ex's cat, but she liked me best. And she'd go in and out, and we had a fence in the yard, and she'd go out and hunt around the yard and stuff. Well, one day she didn't come back in, and I looked all over the place for her. And yeah, little Boo Kitty was not coming back. And it broke my heart because she was such a sweet cat. She was so cool. But she was a Russian blue. Beautiful cat. But yeah, the cat did not come back. She must have moved on, or Vietnamese people back around the corner must have got her or something. I don't know. But no, we got 5 of these prairie freaks with us now, and as they pass, we're not going to restock and keep a total of 5 because 5 is way too many for us. We have them because we love them, and we bonded with them, and they bonded with us. We all have our babies. I have Nova and I have Charmy. So my wife's youngest has Obi, and middle daughter has Piper. So whenever we're down to like 1 or 2 cats, we're going to be okay with that, because we'd actually like to get another dog. We would like to have the son of Magnus. So have him breed and take a boy from the litter. That way we have the son of Magnus, and then we can produce the son of his son and son of his son to keep Magnus's line going, because he is the goodest boy. And we love that little dummy. Is the smartest dumb dog ever. Ooh. One eye. Ugh. Yeah, Boo Kitty came in one time. She had like on her paw, like up here on her leg, she had like a little, like, almost like it got filleted a little bit or something. It was really weird. But I took and I traded her up and I wrapped it and everything else. Within a few days, everything was good, and it healed up nice. And you couldn't even tell there was anything there unless you like pulled her fur back to like see the little scar. Small dogs can be funny. They can be quite a handful too. Our neighbor has a Cavalier King Charles, and she is absolutely delightful. I love that little dog. She is like the only little dog right now that I actually love, and love that little dog. Seriously, I like my big ones. I like my retrievers and my Danes, and like my bigger doggies, because I have stepped on so many small dogs. Like, my ex was into Chihuahuas and all that stuff, and our sister-in-law has a Chihuahua. They're so tiny, and like you're trying to walk and they're getting under your feet and stepping on them. I hate doing that and stepping on an animal. Like these guys, they get under your feet. I don't like stepping on them and hurting them. So yeah, sometimes you can find some dogs that are the smaller dogs that are pretty chill, pretty cool, but other ones they're just little German Spitz. I believe my mother had a German Spitz at one point. His name was Tiny. Preferred dog type is crazy kind. Grace, as long as you're not getting your dogs out of Myersdale Confluence, I think you're probably going to be all right. What were they like? What was it? Something about there was a meme I saw a while back that had like different types of dogs or whatever, and there was one that was like black lab, yellow lab, chocolate lab, meth lab. Meth labs are the crazy ones. Yeah, Mags, he's really chill too, but he's Mr. Energy and happy. And he likes to bounce around on his ticker springs and give everybody the love because everybody wants Magnus love all the time. Yeah, the healers I've known, they've all been like really super, super high energy. I can't deal with that. I need some chill. I need to be like kick back on the couch and like have my armrest dog, sit there and scratch whatever dog I have. But well, I appreciate y'all jumping on here with the live. Thanks for being understanding with the internet issues and everything else and me not getting content up because well, frankly, I've been working all those hours. Hopefully here everything breaks and I'll be able to get my content going again and get my podcast going again and get back into that stuff. Got a lot of different irons in the fire with everything with the Tin Man world and not my personal world, but in the Tin Man world with the business and everything. So I'm hoping that as the one side calms down, the other side I can pick up with. Well, thanks, Grace. I hope everybody has a great week. Hey, night shift is no joke. Night shift is no joke. I've worked plenty of nights. I've worked plenty of weekends. I just came off working like an idiot. Thank you, Bobby B. Yeah, thanks for jumping in, Kat. Appreciate it. Appreciate the visit. And pop in whenever. Every Sunday around noon, I do a live. Twin Arrows does his in the mornings. ACR does his Fridays. ACR and I come together and do the Whiskey Wednesdays, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. We enjoy that. And we generally have a topic, so we talk over survival and preparedness and those kind of things. Get into that stuff. And, here in the chat, everybody's swapping stories and coming together, having some conversations and such. That's what these are for. Everybody having some talking. And everybody stay safe, stay blessed. I always say about doing something to help somebody, always do better. ACR is doing the Be Better challenge, and he's doing his with fitness. I'm more along the lines because I don't have the time to dedicate to working out and doing all that stuff like I used to. But in my day-to-day life, I can do something to help somebody else be better. Be better in that aspect. Be kinder, be gentler, have more compassion. So push on with that. That's what my Be Better is helping people. So make sure y'all are doing the like, subscribe, sharing, doing all that stuff, the stuff. If you're tuning into this in replay, make sure if you're in replay crew, put in the comment there that you're replay crew. That way we know. Because the OGs, they can make it sometimes. Sometimes they can't. So they catch the replay and they get to see this pretty little freak behind me. So you guys stay classy, San Diego. And we'll see you back here at 7 on Wednesday for the Whiskey Wednesday. prayers to Robert and his wife and family. Everybody say a quick prayer for them. Hold them in your prayers, hold them in your hearts. You get through this. I have faith that she will be healed and she will be back to keeping you in line, Robert. Keeping you in line, man. All right. Y'all take care. Yeah. Till next time, y'all. Metal out.